Wednesday, February 21st, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. I start out with the indexes, and it takes a little getting used to with the Ninja Trader as opposed to TradeStation, which I had been using for over a year. So still got this little cough from that cold I had a week or two ago. Sorry. So bear with me with the Ninja Trader charts. We have the E-mini March future contract, and we're starting to see lower lows yesterday in particular, and that was Tuesday. Now remember, Monday, although the market was open, it didn't do anything because it was a holiday for a lot of markets. Dropped off very sharply yesterday, and today we're coming very, very close to yesterday's lows and lower on the day by about 12 at the moment. That is the E-mini. I'm expecting it to come down at least a little bit further, down to 95.54 to 49, sorry. Yeah, that was 49.52-ish, down to 49.34, that little zone in here. But that's very close. I think we're going to see that very easily and very quickly, maybe even today or tomorrow, maybe by the end of the week. Next is going to be about 48.68, but that is super close to the most important range, which is this zone in here, time-wise, from December 20th to approximately most of January 19th. That price range is probably going to stop the decline. It's going to be a technical correction and a bull trend. I have not changed my long-term opinion for many, many months now, ever since October 13th of 22. So that was the bottom of the bear market and the beginning of the bull market, with, of course, an ER signal, buy signal on the exact bottom. Wow, that was a great day. Now, let's go real quick to the 1 minute chart. So it looks to me like we could easily make new lows for the day. It is about 10 o'clock California time, and it could happen very soon. And then we're going to see another slide down, another chunk. Next chart is, whoops, didn't want to do that. Okay, here we go. So I told you a little clumsy here. So I don't want to talk about the spider today or the QQQs, which did have a major sell signal last Friday. Was my new short sale ER sell signals. The NASDAQ futures contract, current tick to tick, had that signal on Friday of last week. We got short ER1, scalp, and overnight. You're looking at the overnight, of course, lasting through Monday with the slight sideways trading range. It was President's Day, so not much activity. A lot of markets were closed. Yesterday, kaboom, down. New lows today, just about low and last at this moment, probably exactly low and last. And now breaking my first minor objective, minor support level. Next on the way down for the NASDAQ March futures is 17.225, 225. Then I'm going to probably get down to about 17,137, down to around 1707, 73, 79, right in there, 80, 17,080. But that's not all that far away. I think it's going to happen in just a few days. And the next support area, which is really where I think it's going to stop declining, is going to be the challenge of the lows that we have and the trading range. And that would be around 16,481. It's possible it could turn somewhere in here. By then, we're going to get oversold, by the way. And we're already down to 35 on my custom ER RSI. I learned RSI from Wells Wilder himself, and George Lane's stochastics and Bollinger Bands and so on from John. Next chart is the 1 minute, actually it's the 5 minute, sorry, NASDAQ futures contract chart. And you can see that we got short on Friday of last week, not particularly gracefully, had a little loss for a while, ended up closing with a small profit. Then on the sideways Monday market this week, nothing really happened. It came up a little bit and went sideways. Yesterday was the good day. Came down very sharply. My trailing stop, which you see here is a yellow dotted line, is trailing very nicely. I'm looking for significantly lower levels, and we are just making, in this last 5 minutes or less, new lows for the day. And so that's the green equity plot from the beginning of the trade to the current tick. Looking great, and that's my protected buy stop locking in a profit at this point. And the word locking in is loosely used. You really are never, ever positive that a stop is going to get filled at that price. Looking good, looking great. Next chart. Bonds. We have the test of support for the third day in a row, and the last 5 out of 6 days, we have had lows at almost exactly the same price. I'm expecting to see the support broken and another wave down to probably in the ballpark of 115, 20-ish. I'm not bearish. I'm just short-term reactionary in what I believe has been the bottom of the interest rate futures markets and a giant ER buy signal on the low day, October 23. It was great. A long-term bull market, I think, is in progress. So we're going to see a little bit more of a dip, but not too much more and not for too long. Next chart is the notes. Same commentary here. Got no change of opinion. Looking for higher levels. After a little bit more of a dip down, I'm going to say to in the ballpark of 108 and a half, 108 and a quarter. Next chart, crude. Okay, sideways trading range, generally speaking, but the last couple of months have been a little on the upside, but it does look like it's taking the form of an upward slanting channel. Let's see if we have a parallel here. It's not quite right, but not too far off either. So, sort of an upward channel, and I would be expecting, because of these formations are usually end up breaking to the downside, bearish, usually bearish, that we're going to see lower levels. It's going to be in a few weeks, and there's probably not much more on the upside. This resistance area has stopped the latest rally very, very nicely. Several attempts. We just haven't started to break down. Next chart, natural gas. Did break down, did make new lows, got very, very oversold, and now is bouncing some. I don't trust it. I think it's going to stop maybe at this resistance level, 1.19, 1.919. And it could maybe even come back to the major resistance area up here where it topped out back on January 12th. I kind of doubt that. I'm looking for new short sale signals. I'd like to see it get overbought first, which implies a pretty good rally, but not necessarily all the way up to the yellow resistance zone. Next chart, heating oil. It did get up into the resistance area, stopped. We had a bearish engulfing, and I haven't got the strategy loaded, so it's not showing you a red bar, but that would be a sell signal. And it's right on top of the rally within a day or two, and price is extremely close. So new low close likely, current, and I'm expecting it to come down into the support area at 2.5 or even a little lower. Next is going to be this gold market. Today we're kind of doing a lot of nothing. I'm between a rock and a hard spot. So they could have a little bit more rally, but I don't think it's going to go very far for very long and turn right back down to the support area. So until we get some sort of a signal and or significant breakout, I've got to be on the neutralish side for gold. And the same thing basically applies in silver as well. It managed to pop out of resistance a little, but it never stayed there for long, and nothing, we didn't have a follow through. So support is relatively close by. Again, wait for a major signal. Platinum, looking for lower levels, neutral to bearish, short-term, intermediate, and if we get a major downside breakout, long-term also bearish. Right now, I don't want to get terribly bearish at this moment, but I'm looking for a little bit lower. Next, high-grade copper. Almost back up to the same resistance area. Today had a little spike to it. We're between a rock and a hard spot here also. So it's been bouncing back and forth between support and resistance. I don't see why it can't do that, but of course it's not going to do it forever. And I'll have to wait a little bit. What do we got? Soybeans. Now, this is pretty interesting. Soybeans have challenged last few days the lowest lows going back to a heck of a long time back, going back to lows that we made on the continuation chart in July of 22. Very significant, major long-term support is trying desperately to hold. What's happened to corn and wheat? Well, they did the same thing and didn't hold and broke down, especially wheat, a while back. I think soybeans are going to do the same thing. It's been months since I've been talking about this major resistance area above the market. When it broke out, it looked like it was going to make new historic highs. It completely flip-flopped with a bearish engulfing ER sell signal right up here at the top of the move. Bounced off support, couldn't break through again on the upside. Dug into support a little more on the next break. Again, the rally high was not as high as the last couple. And now, in the last month or two, we have seen it lower lows, and now we're challenging the lowest low for years. Closing below this yellow zone is going to be a long-term bearish breakout. Next, soybean oil at support. I think it's going to dig into the support level and start to slip off even more. I've got no buy signals. I'm close to oversold, but not super close, but pretty close. So there's a chance you could have a little double bottom here, but nothing yet. So you stay with the trend as your friend. Next is meal, kind of the same statement, falling back down today after a couple of days with a rally that didn't really go anywhere significant. And support levels are being tested, about to be tested, it looks like, again. And then the major support level at around 324. So I'm neutral to bearish on soybean meal with the possibility of having something very, very, very bearish. Long-term breakouts taking place soon, like in soybeans. Corn, well, that's already happened. I mean, the corn market has made new lows since the beginning of 23 for way over a year, and now challenging major support lows that were in 2021. So it's going to break down too. I have not got anything bullish really to say about the grain markets of any consequence. Bouncing, yes, here and there, yes, but the trend just keeps on chewing away at real lowest lows. And what do we got for wheat? That started to happen again in September. We started to go sideways a little bit. And in fact, the interesting thing here is we have a new buy signal yesterday in wheat. Okay, I'm going to turn this on real quick so you can see this one. Just a second. And I just want to turn the overnight version on and leave the defaults. Okay, good. And here it comes. So we should have a green ER candlestick and white. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. And stretch it out a little so you can see a little more detail. That low is right about the same prices as we had back here. Bullish engulfing, doing okay today. Nothing special yet. I need to see it close above yesterday's high to really kick it into gear. A little skeptical at the moment because this is a bear trend. But if you're going to have a turn in the market that turns out to be profound, you're going to have to wait until the market starts to make a little bit new highs here for a few weeks or more. Otherwise, this may run out of steam. So far, so good. Next, keep your eye on the soybeans. Wheat, I meant wheat, sorry. Now, cattle is in resistance. had a sell signal a couple days ago. That didn't pan out, unfortunately. We have resistance still stopping or trying to stop the market. It is doing a little bit more damage to the resistance area, popping above it with the tail here, wick this morning, but no breakout yet. So prime territory for it to turn down. Was oversold a few days earlier. Yeah, I don't trust this rally. I would not be surprised to see it turn down very quickly. Otherwise, I'm just waiting for a signal again, and that's it. Hogs. Same kind of commentary, although it's playing around a little bit above my resistance level. Overbought last couple of days. Looking for a downside swing. I think it's about to turn down. OJ. We've got just a second here. The market dropping back. Great. This is a whopping great sell signal. I'll have the setup for you better tomorrow on OJ, smack dab at the top. Also, we got a one right there, smack dab at the high of that little rally, but also at the top of the market, we got a bearish engulfing ER sell signal. Excuse me. And on October 31st, the top of that rally. We have had lately 4 incredible signals, smack dab at high points, including the highest high. So I have to stay bearish. No major damage done here. Intermediate to longer term. Next, Cocoa. Doesn't want to stop. I thought we had a blow off top sideways a few days and started to drop down like crazy on Friday. But yesterday, it rallied pretty strongly, but it's still at resistance on the close, right smack in a sideways movement for a few days earlier. Today, it just went right through the highs, blasting off again. I think this could create a second blow-off type top, kind of like orange juice did, and finally come to a long-term top. No sell signal, no position. I got to be bullish, but very, very cautious, because this looks like prime territory for it to turn down, which it's not doing yet. Next, we got cocoa, or coffee, I meant, and sideways. Resistance stopped it, looking for sideways to lower. Next is sugar, looking for lower levels. Now, a small support area has held for only a couple days, 3 or 4. So, I don't know. Maybe it could rally a little bit, 2280. We're at 2230 right now, so that wouldn't mount to much. Sideways to lower. Next, cotton the rag. Bearish engulfing at the top of the move. Classic ER sell signal. Very overbought conditions. Divergence, minor divergence top. Now in support, although low and current tick is around the high of the day. Support is bouncing. It's bouncing off support today and yesterday. I hope it doesn't make any higher highs, because that would kill my signal from only Friday of last week. And it's worked so far pretty darn good, especially yesterday. We'll see what happens. Bearish. Back to the E-mini. Close to the lows. We're in the middle of the low of the day. Unfortunately, remember the ES, S&P Spider, etc., did not have a bearish engulfing on Friday, but other indexes did. And I have turned short-term correctionary, so to speak, on those indexes. You have a great day. Thank you very much. Mañana.